Hello guys, welcome back to the new video. So in this video we're gonna make this awesome travel agency website using the WordPress and the Elementor. So let me show the demonstration of the project which we're gonna make in this video from start. So you can see that we have this travel agency website. So let's refer this website from start, and I'm gonna show you all the things which we're going to make in this project. So after refreshing, let me show the animations of the website. So you can see that when our page scroll, so you can see that we have this type of animation, and also you can see that we have this beautiful slider here. So you can see that we have this slider, and this is auto sliding from left to right. Also we can slide this by using this. So you can slide this by using this. So you can slide like this. Also you can slide it according to the mouse. So you can slide this by using this mouse. Also you can see that we have this type of header at the top. So you can see that we have this thing at the top of the header. So here we have the logo, here we have all of this information, and then we have these menus, and also we have this hover effect on this menus. Also we have this book now button. Okay, so we have this type of header, and you can see that we have this type of slider here, and also we have this type of BTN here, and also we have the hover effect on this BTN. And also you can see that this is the slider, and we can slide by using these dots also. And also on the hover, the dots things are changing. Like here you can see that this is changing from the white to orange color. Okay, so I will show you how you can build this type of awesome slider by using the Elementor. Okay, so let's go below, and also let me show you again that after refreshing, we have this cool animation in our slider also. So let me refresh this again, and you can see that we have this type of slider here. Okay, so let's go below, and after going below, you can see that we have this type of section here where we have this location, we have to connect all of this type of section. Okay, so let's go below. Here you can see that we have our this section where we have about us. So we can show this type of layout. So here we have a discover more button. Okay, and here you can see that all of these services are there. So right now all the contents are same, but you can add your own content according to your travel agency. So here you can see that we have this type of layout, and this is fully responsive layout. Here we have this type of call expert button and all. Here we have this type of discover more button. So I will show you, and also you can see that in the background we have this type of image which is blur. Okay, so I will show you how you're going to build this type of section by using the Elementor and the WordPress. So let's go below, and here you can see that we have one more section which is the about company section. And here you can see that we have the transparent image also in the background. Here we have this type of layout. Here we have about company and all of these things. Okay, then we have this things here. So you can see that in this section we have this counter. So here you can add happy traveler, happy clients, countries visited, and this type of things. Also you can see that here we have this hover effect on this. Okay, so here you can see that we can hover on this, and so we have this black and white hover effect on this. Also we have the transparent image in the background. You can see that. Okay, so let's go below. Here you can see that we have the featured this section where we can showcase all of the places. So right now I have this type of I have this slider, and you can see that all of these contents are same, but you can add your own content. Also we have this animations here. So let me refresh this again, and let me show you from start. So you can see that when I go below, we have this type of animation all over the website. We have this type of animations here also. Okay, and in the feature tour section also we have this animation, and here you can see that we have the ratings and all. You can add all your things here, like you can change the content, change the photo, change all of these things. Also you can see that here we have the slider, so we can slide this by using this. So you can see our slides are changing. Okay, so I will show you how to make this type of custom layout using the Elementor and the WordPress. So we are not importing any pre-made template like other YouTubers. We're gonna make everything from start. Okay, so here you can see that we have this fixed image in the background. So these images are fixed. So when you scroll in this section, you can see this whole image is fixed in the behind. So I will show you how you're gonna make this type of city section also. Okay, here we have this play button, so you can link a video or something to this button. Also you can see that all of this layout. Okay, and you can see that when you scroll, then the behind the image is always sticky. Okay, so let's go below. Here you can see that we have the testimonial section. So here you can showcase all your testimonials here. So you can see that here also we have the slider. So you can also slide this by using this mouse. Okay, also you can use these dots to slide from left to right. Okay, so this is the testimonial slider. So let's go below. Here you can see that we have the news and blog section. So this is also a slider. So you can also slide this by using this mouse. Okay, and here you can see that we have the background image. Okay, and here we have the dots, so we can also slide it by using the dots also. Here we have the read more button, so you can go to a single block page, so you can integrate all of these things here. Okay, so let's go below. Here you can see that we have go exotic places. These are the destination list. So I will show you how you're going to build this type of layout also. So here you can see that we have these buttons, so we can also slide by using this. So here you can see that we have all of these things. So I will show you how to make this type of custom layout also by using the Elementor. Okay, so let's go below. Here you can see that we have our beautiful footer. So I will show you how you're going to build this type of awesome footer by using the Elementor and the WordPress also. So you can see here we have the fly tails, which is the name of our website. Here we have all of the social icons, so you can link your all the icons here. Here you can see we have this pages here. Here we have the newsletter section, then we have the contact section. Here I have used the 2 phone number, but you can add your email ID here. Okay, so here we have the copyright section, then we have the scroll to top button. So whenever we click on this button, it will take us to the top of the website like this. Okay, so we are here. Okay, so you can see that we have this fully responsive for the desktop. So let me show you one more thing. So when I click on this about, it will take me to the about section. Okay, so when I click on the tours, it will take me to the tour section. So I will show you how you can link this type of sections to your website. Okay, so I will show you how to link this type of menus to your respective section. So let's go to the mobile part of the video. So I will show you that this website is fully responsive for the smaller screens also. So let's first refresh this website. So I will show you that the animations are also working in the smaller screens. So you can see that we have the tour and travel section, and right now all of the contents are same, but you can change according to the content, according to your content. So you can see in the phone also, this is the slider is fully working. We can slide by using this mouse. Okay, and also you can see that here we have this drop down menu, which is only for the mobile. Here we are showcasing all of these links. Okay, so let's go below. Here you can see we have this type of layout. Okay, then we have this availability section. Okay, here also we have the discover more button. So let's go below. Here we have all of these sections. Okay, then we have the about company section. You can see here we have all of the counters. Here we have feature tour section, which is the slider here, so you can slide by using this mouse. Okay, so you can see that this website is fully responsive for all the screens. So let's go below. Here we have the city section. So in the mobile, this section is not fixed, but you can do it, but you can do that also. So here we have the testimonial section. This is also a slider. You can slide by using these dots. Okay, so let's go below. Here we have the news and blog section, which is also a slider. So you can see all of these sliders are fully working in the smaller screen now also. Okay, so after that, let's go below. Here we have the exotic places. This is also a slider. Okay, so in this video you're gonna learn how to make this type of dot slider and how to make the arrows things. Okay, then you can see we have this beautiful footer. So you can see that the footer is looking like this. Also we have the social icons, this newsletter section, and we have the copyright section. Also we can click on this scroll to top button, so it will take us to the top of the website like this. Okay, then you can see that we have this thing here. So you can see we have the fly tails, and we can click on this section so to go to the respective section. Okay, so in the smaller screen also this is working. Then we have the testimonial section. Okay, so I will give you all of these images in the video description, so you can follow along with me. Also we're gonna make this whole website step by step from start. So if you're new to our channel, like and share our videos with your friends, subscribe to the channel. Also I will give you all of these images in the video description for free. Also you can buy this kit from the link in the video description at very affordable rates. You can check out our old kits also. All the links are in the video description. So without wasting any time, let's start the video, and we're gonna build this awesome website step by step from start. Okay, so for making this website, I have installed a fresh WordPress installation. So you can see that here we have. So let me show the themes and the plugin which we're gonna make, which we're gonna use in this video for making this. So let's go to the themes, and here you can see we are using the Hello Elementor theme, which is the official Elementor theme. Let's go to the plugin option, and in the plugins we are using the Elementor, and it's the pro version. So if you want to buy the Elementor Pro, we are also selling that. All the links are in the video description. So after that we have to go to the pages, and here you have to make a new page. Okay, you have to make a new page. Then after that, go to the settings, go to the reading option, and in this here you will find the static page option. Just go here and choose the home page, choose the script, and save the changes. Okay, so you have to do this type of settings. Then after that, let's go to the media library, and in the media library you can see that I have uploaded all of these images. So I will give you all of these images in the video description, so you can follow along with me step by step. Okay, then after that, let's start making our first section, which is the hero section. Okay, so before that we're gonna set some global colors. So let me show you how to do that. So if you go to visit site, it will open your home page which you have just added. Okay, so you can see, so let's go to the edit page option, and here we have to open the edit with Elementor. So let's click on this edit with Elementor and it will open that. Then after that we have to choose these colors. So let me choose these colors. Okay, so for that what we have to do, I'm gonna use this. So let's go to the color picker tool, and here I'm gonna pick this color. So let's pick this color. Okay, so here I'm gonna copy this color. Okay, then after that we have to skip this. We can make this smaller. Then we can go to the site settings, and here we have to set these global colors. Okay, so let's go to the site settings. Here you can see we have this option global colors. Then here we have to add this global colors. So here we can add theme green. Okay, like this. Then after that we can also add this theme black. So here you can see that we have this black color, so we can also use the color picker tool, and we can go here and we can just pick this color. Okay, let's go here, and here also we can add this color. Okay, then after that I think we have one more color, which is the orange color. So we can just use the color picker tool again, and we can pick this color. Okay, then after that we can go here, and here we can use the orange color here. Okay, so you can name whatever name you want to give your colors. So I'm just giving some random names, like but you can give any names also. So here we can choose this color now. So let's choose this color. And okay, so I have saved this. So let me add one more color. So this is the beige color, means the background color. So we have to use this also. Save this. Let's save the changes. Then after that we're gonna use font. So we can go to the global fonts, and here we can use one more plugin which is called Fonts Ninja. So this will analyze all of the fonts which are available right now in our website. So only we are using the Sans regular. So you can see that all the fonts are same. So we're gonna use this Sans regular font here only. Okay, so let's go to the primary, and here we're gonna set this. So we're gonna search for Sans regular. Okay, then for the secondary font also we're gonna search for, if you want to use some different font you can also use that. Okay, here also we can set Sans. Then for that also we're gonna set the Sans font. Okay, so this is done. Now we can just save the changes. Okay, then after that let's get back, and here you can see we have the typography option. So in here for the body also we're gonna set Sans. Okay, then here you can see we have the link option. Here also we can set the Sans font. Here for the H1 also we can set this. Then for the H2, okay, then for the S3 also we can set this, and then for the H4 also we can set this font. Similarly we have to do this for everyone. Okay, let's set this for this also. Let's save the changes. Then after that we have to go back. Okay, so you can see everything is done. Now let's close this. Okay, so we are ready to make our first layout. So you can see we have to first make this slider. Okay, so after that we're gonna make the header and footer. So first we're gonna build this slider. Okay, so for making the slider, what we're gonna do, we can just add a new container. Okay, here we will name this container hero. Let's give some width, max width 1300 max width. Here we can add 80 pixel to the top, 80 pixel to the bottom. We can also let's don't use padding around. Okay, because we're gonna do this by using this. Okay, so let's search for the carousel. Okay, like this. Okay, in the carousel, what we only want one slide to show and one slide to scroll. Okay, and for this we're gonna choose 3. Okay, we don't want pause on over, pause on interaction, infinite scroll and autoplay, and we don't want the dots also. We want the navigations only. Okay, so here if I go to the carousel, we can just remove all of this padding. Then here you can see we have the first slide. So this is the box. Okay, we can also remove all of this padding. Now what we can do, we can just add a container here. Okay, make this full width and remove all of this padding. Okay, now you can see we have this image. So what we can do, we can just go to this container here, and here we're gonna set some height 700. Okay, now let's go to the styles, and here we're gonna choose some images. So let's choose this image like this, and also you can see we can go to the default center and display size would be cover. Okay, now you can see this is coming like this. Okay, here you can see we have the full width. This is also, so I think in the carousel we have this full width also. Okay, like this. So you can see our slider is not coming full, so let me check why. Here, okay, so here you can see we have the hero section. Here we have to give this full width. Okay, so you can see we have the full width here. Okay, like this. Now inside this container we have to give some padding from the left and right. So let's give some padding like 60 and 60. Okay, like this. So you can see we have this. Now we can go to this background overlay, and here you can see we have this black color. So let's give the black color, and we can just play with the opacity. Okay, like this. Now you can see we have this heading. So we can just go here and we can add a custom heading here. Go to the container layout, and here we can make everything in the center and left line. Okay, now we can write this tour, travels and adventure camping. So here we can search for tour, travels and adventure camping. Okay, so now we have to make this white color. So let's go to this, and we're gonna make this white color. Okay, now we can just increase the font size of this. Okay, here we're gonna make this. Here we can just go to the custom, and we can play with the custom width. Okay, now you can see we have this lorem ipsum, so we can just add this lorem ipsum here. Okay, like this, and here also we can make this white color. Okay, and here you can see we have this font size, so we can just play with the font size. And here we have the custom property also. We can also add this custom value. Okay, like this. And here also we have the unnecessary spacing. You can just remove this by going to the styles also. Then after that we can add a button here. This button will saying let's get started. So we can add this here. Let's get started. Okay, and here you can see we have this theme green. Now we can just add it here 15, and here we can add 30. Here we can add 30, and here we can add 18. Here we can also add 18. Okay, now we can give the border radius to 10. Okay, so like this. You can also preview this by using this. So you can also preview this. Now we can go here, and here we can just make this 30. Okay, now you can see everything is looking great. Now let's publish this once, and after publishing I will show you how to preview this. So you can just go to this, and here you can view the page. Okay, then after viewing the page you can see we have the slider working, looking great. Okay, if you want we can also add some more padding like 100, and here also we can add the 100 value. You can also preview this. Okay, so this is also looking good. Now what we can do, we can just go to the carousel, go to the content, and here we can remove the rest. Now we can again duplicate this, so you can just see different slides. Now you can just go to the second slide of this, and here you can just change the images. Like we can use this image. You can also change the content, okay, according to you. Go to the container. Here again you can just choose any other image, like let's use this image. Okay, so you can see that everything is done. Now let's publish. Also you can see if I go to this and refresh this, and after refreshing you can see our slider is working, and also these things are also working. Okay, and you can see here we have the dots bigger. If you want to customize the dots, you can just go to the carousel content, and here you can see we have the navigation value. So you can just add some position like 20. Here also in the position you can add 20. Okay, then you can just go to the setting option, and here you can see we have the navigation size. You can increase it like 20 and see 30, so you will increase the size, and on hover it will be theme orange like this. Okay, so everything is customized. Okay, now you can see this is done. Now let's refresh it again, and after refreshing you can see we have these things. Okay, so we have successfully built our slider. So now let's move to the next section where we're going to build this. Okay, now let's move to the next section where we're going to build this layout. So for making this we have to add a new container. So let's add a new container. Okay, and we're gonna name this grids. Here we're gonna give 1300 max width, remove all of these paddings. Okay, now you can see we have this layout. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna use a grid here like this, and here we have the 4. So what we can do, we can just make this 4 and this would be 1. Okay, remove all of these extra paddings. Okay, now let's inside this we're gonna add a new container and remove all of this. I think we can give the padding of 10. Now you can see we have this thing. Now inside this we can add one more container. Okay, and we can duplicate this container. Now this is the main layout, and here we can just make this. Okay, now for this we can add this 60 and we can make this 40. Okay, and here we can just make this 0. Okay, now you can see we have this text, so we can just add this text here, location, and here also we can just increase the size of this, make this 400. Okay, we can increase the size a little bit more, and here we can make this text. Now we can just duplicate this, and this will say where to next. Okay, so you can add any content here, where to next. Okay, I just put some random content, but you can add your content. Okay, here we can increase the size a little bit, and here we can just add the black. Okay, now you can see we have this icon, so we can use any random icon. So let me search for the icon. Okay, so you can use any random icon. So right now we're gonna use the icon from here, like we can use this tree. Okay, so I am using some random icons only, so you can just use whatever icon you want. Okay, if you want you can also change this, like we can go to this, here we can make this tagged. Okay, all of these options are here. Now we can just play with the different things, like we can use this type of icons also. I think this will look better than this, so let's use this here, and here we can just go here, icon in the left. Okay, so this is looking good. Now we can have this main. Now what we can do, we can just go here, and here we can just duplicate this. So let's duplicate this 4 times. Duplicate. Here we have the grid. Now we can just go here. Here we have the grid gaps. So let me give the gap of 40. Okay, we can just give the gap 0 also, and in the main we can give the 20. Here also we can give the 20. You can just copy and paste, like copy this and paste this with this. Okay, so in this way, now we can give some borders, like we can add this solid one and a very light border like this. You can see we have these borders here, and we have the border radius also like 10. Now we can again copy this, paste, then we can paste. So you can see the layout is looking really good like this. Now what we can do, we can just make this at the top. So if I go grid, and we can make this white, and we can just use this em value here, and we can just make this like this. So what we have to do, we have to just make this white. Okay, so this is not going white. Okay, so the main reason that this is not going white, because they are behind, so we can give the z index value some. So let's give the 99 value. Okay, so now you can see these are working. Okay, so in the grid we don't want to give this white color, remove this. We want to give this white color to only this mains. So you can see here also we can give this white color, here also we can give this white color. Okay, like this. Now let's publish. Okay, so you can just change the content here. Now let's refresh, and after refreshing you can see we have this layout, and this is also looking good. You have to just replace all of this content according to you. Okay, so these two sections are ready. Now let's move to the next section where we're going to build this. So now we're going to build this layout. So for making this layout we can just add a new container here. Okay, and we can name this container available. Here we can add 1300 max width, here advanced, remove all of this padding, 80 pixel to the top, 80 pixel to the bottom. Okay, like this. Now we can just go inside container 1. Here we can make everything 0. This also make everything 0. Okay, now you can see we have this color. Okay, so after that you can see we have this button here. So for that we're gonna just add a button, and this will say availability. Okay, sorry for the spellings if it is correct or not correct. We can go to the green. Here we can just play. Okay, so what we can do, we can use this green and we can just play with opacity. Okay, like this. And for the text we can use this green. We can make this, and we can use this. Okay, so we are just using any random green. Let's make this little bit more. Okay, we can just play with it. Okay, so you can choose according to you. Now you can just increase the font size if you want, whatever you want. Okay, let's use this 600. Okay, so this is done. Now we have to add this heading. Now we can add this heading below. So this heading is saying explore our wild, so we can search it here. Okay, we can just go here and we can add this. Now we can just go here and we can make this black color, and here also we can increase the size of this. Okay, let's keep this 45. Okay, and here you can see we can make this capitalize. Okay, here also we can make this 50, and here also we can make this 1.2. Okay, looking good. Now we have this lorem ipsum, so we can just add the lorem ipsum here. Okay, this is a little bit bigger, so we can use like 45 only. Okay, we can make this 700. Okay, so this is also good. Okay, we can use this random. Now you can see we have this, so you can also use the custom value of this. Go to the custom, and here we can just increase and decrease this like this. Okay, here we can have this 80. Now you can see we have this. So for this, what we're gonna do? For this, what we're gonna do? We're gonna just use the icon box. So let's use the icon box. Okay, we can make this here. Okay, now we can also upload the SVG. Okay, you can also upload the SVG according to you, but we're gonna use any SVG like here we're gonna use any globe like thing. So let's use this. Okay, so let's use this globe. Okay, so you can see protect your life, whatever content you want to add here. So let's copy this content here, protect your life. Okay, then we can just copy this here also. This here we can go to the icon and we can make this green. Okay, we can increase the size of this. We can go to the content, we can make this I think this is black, and we just go to here and we can make this black. Let's increase the size of this. Okay, then you can go to the box here in the center. Okay, this is the content. Okay, let's make this 0 like this. Okay, and we can also increase the icon size. Okay, so this is looking good like this. Okay, so in this way we can just make the last one also. Here we can just go to the hover and make this orange, so you can see. So this is also changing. Also we can do it for the content. Go here and here you can make this green. Okay, so you can see this is looking good. Now we can add a container. So container is because here you can see we have this side by side. So now we can just copy this. Okay, now you can see here we have the phone icon. Let's go here. Here we can use the phone. Okay, here we can use the stack value. Here we can use the green color. Here we can also use this. Okay, and here you can see call experts. Call experts. Here we can add any random name, number. Okay, we can use any random number. Here also we can just here you can see the call expert is smaller, number is bigger. We can just go here, make this smaller. Here we can make this text also. Here you can make this bigger. We can make this. Here we can make this black. Okay, now you can see we have this button. So for the button, what we can do, we can just go here. We can copy this button. Okay, here also we can paste this. Now you can see in the container we can go to the layout. Here we can make this display flex, because this will come in a row. Make everything in the center. Here we can, here I think we have some margin at the top. Then we can have the container. Let's add some gaps of 60. So this is looking good. Okay, now let's publish. Now you can see we have to make this layout. Okay, so for making this layout, what we can do, we can just add two containers here. Okay, this is the main container, and we can just duplicate this and go to this here, and here we can make everything in the center. Okay, now you can see we have to use a grid here. So what we can do, we can just use a grid. So we can just use the grid here. Okay, so we can use the grid here. So let's use the grid, and after that you can see here we have only 2, so we can just go to the grid, and here we can just make this columns only 1 and rows 2. Okay, column is only 1 and row is 2. Now we can go to this, and here we can add a container. Okay, we can make this container 30 pixel padding. Here you can see we have this white color, so I think we have to give this a color. So let's give this a BG color, theme BG. Okay, and also in the upper grid we can give a BG color, theme BG. Okay, now let's go to the below. Here you can see we have the main container. Okay, here we can give this color the white color, and for the border radius we can give the 10. Now you can see we have this so let me refresh this here. I go here, you can see we have this hover color. So what we can do, we can just add a icon here. Okay, let me add icon. Here we can use the stacked value. Okay, let's use some random icon. So let's use some random icon like this, swimming. Okay, we can use this random icon. Now we can go to this. Here we can make this theme BG, and here we can use this green color. Okay, and for the hover we're gonna use this, and this would be like this. Okay, now we can make this, and here for the size we can just increase and decrease this. Now you can see we have the fishing this, so we can just copy this Okay, and here you can just put any random, like here we can use this text. Let's make this, and here we can just this, here we can make this 600. Now you can see we have this text, so we can just use this text here. Okay, so in Elementor you can make one time and you can just use it everywhere. So here we can just make the text little bit smaller, like this. Now you can see everything is done for this. Okay, we can just add some 40. This is looking good. Now what we can do, we can just go to this container and we can just duplicate this here. Okay, now we can just go to the container this, and inside this you can see we have this second container. So this second container we can delete, and now we can duplicate this container. So you can see we have the two containers here. So for the first, and you can name this, for the first container we can add some margin from the top. So let's add some margin, so it will go below like this, you can see. And here also so you can see this is goes below, so you can just change all of this content, and this section is also ready. Okay, now we can just go to this here, and you can see here we have the container, so we can just make it like this. Okay, and here also we can make this. So this section is also ready. Now let's publish. After publishing, let me go here and refresh, and after refreshing, if I go below, you can see this section is also ready and looking good. Now let's move to the next section. And okay, so one more thing is left here. We don't given this image, so let me go here. Here we can remove the little bit space. So let's go here, and here we can choose the image, like this is the image we can use. Okay, so here you can see. Now we can make this okay, let's wait for it to load. Okay, so here we sometime it don't load, so here we can use this okay, so still it is loading, so let's wait for it. So you can see now we can go to this. Here you can see you can center and center, display would be cover, so it will zoom the images. Okay, and everything is done. I think image is looking good behind, so let's publish. Now after that we can just go here and refresh, and after refreshing, if I go below, you can see everything is looking good. Now let's move to the next section where we're gonna build this about. So now we're gonna build this layout. So for making this is very easy section layout. So you can see we have this. So now we can just add a new container, make this to slide. Okay, here we can just minimize this. So here we can write about. Here also we can write 1300. Okay, here in the layout we can just add 80 to the top, 80 to the bottom, and here we're gonna use the black color. So let's search for this. I think this is the color. Okay, so this is the background. So I will give you all of these images in the video description, so you can follow along with me step by step. Okay, so after that we can go below, remove this padding from here also, and remove the padding from here also. Okay, now you can see we have this image, so we can just search for the image and add it here. Now we can just add the image, like here we have this. Okay, and here you can see we can choose any random image. I think this image is not there. Okay, so we can use any random image, like we can use any landscape one. Okay, let's use this image. Okay, let's use this image. Okay, we can make this full, and we can make this full, and we can set some border radius here like 10. Now you can see we have this about company. So here we can also set like this 60. Okay, then we can go here, and here we can write about company. Okay, here we can make this. Here we can just make the opacity like this. Here also we can make this. Okay, and here also you can see everything is looking good. Okay, so we can make this like 600. Okay, so it is looking good. Now we can add some border radius also. You can just play the like 10. Okay, here you can add 15. Okay, now you can see we have to add this, so we can copy this from here, go here, paste it, and here we have to make this white color only. Okay, here we can change the content, so let's change the content here. Now you can see we have this, so we can also copy this. We can just go here below and paste this. Now you can also make this fully white. Okay, so in this way, like this. Now you can see we have this image, so we can search for the image and add it here. So this is also an image only, so you can see, so you can make this type of images in Figma or Canva. Okay, you can just add 30 to the top like this. So let's publish once. Now we're gonna refresh this. So after refreshing here, you can see we have this thing also working. Now you can see we have to make this counter. So for making this counter, we can just add a new container. Okay, we can just name this container, and here we can set 1300 max width. Remove all of these paddings. Okay, now we're gonna search for the grid. Let's add a grid here. So this grid we have the 4 values, so we can use this 4 columns, row 1. Okay, remove all of this. Now we can just add a new container. Okay, and here also we can add the 30. Okay, now we can search for the counter like this, and up and top of the counter you can see that we have the logo also. So the logo is also same like this, so we're gonna just copy this logo here. Okay, and here we can also make this. We can make this. Okay, so here we can just go here, and here we can make this, and we can also make this white. Okay, so here you can see we have the white, so we can make this white, and we can make this theme green. Okay, so one more thing is that we have to make this. Okay, so first we have to use this image. Okay, we can make this center, and we can make this cover and make this contain also. Okay, now we can go to the background overlay. Here we can use this theme green, and we can increase the opacity of this. Okay, like this. Now you can see this is looking good. We can also increase the size of this if you want, like 45. Okay, now we can just make this white color. For the title also we can make this white color. Okay, now we can set 986 plus happy traveler. So here we can icon 986. In the suffix we can put here. Here we can set happy travelers. Okay, so in this way you can just play with the values, whatever values you want to edit here, like your happy clients, how many cities you have covered, so you can just edit here according to you. Okay, now we can just duplicate this, so we can just duplicate the counter. Okay, let's duplicate this again. So we have 4, we have this, so you can see you can just make this 50 here, and you can just again copy this like this also. So I'm just showing you how to you can copy here also in this way. Now we can just go to the grid here, style, border, and here we can make this 10. Okay, now you can see we have to make this to the top, and here we can make this EM, and here we can just make this to the top little bit. can see you can use the minus value. Let's go to the about. We have to put some random padding here like 200. Okay, like this. So I think we can just preview this. Okay, so this is looking good. Okay, so we are getting that black color also. So I think we have to go to the grid, and here we can just make this opacity like this. Okay, so you can just make the opacity full also. Okay. So you can see this is looking good also. You have to just replace all of this content. Okay, so let's publish. Okay, this section is also ready. Now let's move to the next section where we're going to build this feature towards section. Now you can see here we have the feature towards section. Okay, now let's add the new container here. Okay, so if for this we can just okay, now we can just make this. Here we can have this 80 pixel to the top, 80 pixel to the bottom. Now we're gonna search for this, like we can search here and we can paste this. Okay, now you can see we want this heading, so we can copy this heading again from the top and bottom like this. Don't make headings again and again because it will make your website little bit slow. Here you can use the custom value. Okay, you can use this custom value. Okay, now you can see we have to make this slider, this type of slider. So you can see that this. So for making this, we can again use the carousel widget here. So let's use this. Okay, so now you can see here we are showing the 4 slides. So you can see here we have the values. So we can show 4 and how many slides we want to scroll. Let's choose this 2. And for the settings, we are gonna run this for the 3 seconds. Pause on however interaction will work. For the navigation, we are using the navigations, and for the pagination, we are only using none. Okay, now you can see the carousel. Here we can just duplicate some, remove all of these paddings. Now go to the first slide. This is your first slide, this is the main slide, because we're gonna duplicate this slide. This now we gonna, now you can see we want to make this. So now what we can do, we can just add an image inside this. Okay, let's choose a random image like this. Okay, and here also we can have the border radius of 10. Okay, now you can see we can add a container inside this. This is the slide. We can make everything in the center, make this 0. Okay, here also we are using that BG. So let's go here, styles. Here we can use that theme BG. Okay, now if I go to this container, we can make this white, this 0, layout. Here also we can make this 3. Okay, now we want to add this rating. Okay, and here we can just increase the size of this like this, and here we can add some spacing, like we can add this 5. Okay, now you can see we have this heading here. So for the heading, what we can do, we can just copy this heading from the top. Okay, let me go here, and here also we can see we can have the beautiful floating villa. So you can just name your places here. Beautiful floating villa, and here we can just increase and decrease the size. Okay, then you can see we have these icons. Here we can have this list, so we can just drag and drop this. Okay, now you can see here we have our main street, Brooklyn, New York. This is a random address, so we can just go here to the map. Okay, here we can add the Brooklyn, Manchester United, NY. Okay, so let's do the United little bit bigger. Okay, I'm just putting some random things. You can put your own. Here you can see we have this price. So here we can write from $299, and here we can use some $sign. Okay, now we can go to the icons, and here we can make this theme green. You can just increase this. Okay, in the list also we can have this like 8. Okay, now you can see we want the divider, so we can use the divider line between. Okay, so this is the HTML HR tag. Okay, that's called the divider here. And this, then you can see we have to use this icon again, so we can use this, and inside this you can paste this like this. Okay, now you can see this is 3 days 2 nights, so we can just go here, and here we can use this clock. This clock will say 3 days 2 nights. Okay, and here we can use this 1 to 15 persons are allowed, so we can use this user. Okay, like this. Okay, and here also what we can do, we can just use a divider. Okay, here we can just make this smaller, and for the text also we can make this little bit like this. Okay, and here also we can put the space between like 10, 20, 30. Okay, so you can see this is done, and now you can see we have to make this okay, so we can use the container styles, and here we can go to the border radius and add 10 border radius. We can also preview this here. Okay, then after previewing we can go to the here choose the EM value and make this little bit to the top like this. Okay, so this is looking good. Now what we can do, we can just go to the carousel, remove all the other slides and just make this. Okay, now we can just go to the gaps. Here we can put the gap of 20 or 30. So you can see our slide is also looking good. You can just replace all of this content, means all of these images. Okay, all of these images you can just replace, and also we can make this full width. Let's make this here 1450. So I think this will look good like this. Okay, let's publish this once. Also we have to make this dots, means these arrows. For making this we can go to this carousel here, and here I think we can go to the navigations. Here you can see background color. We can make this. We can also increase the size, make this 20, and for the padding we can add 10. Okay, and here also we can add the navigation like -20. Here also we can add the -20. Okay, now let's publish. After that, if I go here and we're gonna refresh this, and after refreshing you can see, if I go below, you can see our sliders are also working. Also you have to just change this content. Okay, if you want you can also add this slider some colors. So let's show you how. You can see, go to the styles, go to the navigation. Here you will find this hover effect. Go to this, make this green, make this white. So when you hover you can see the colors are changing. Also you can add some animations if you want, but animations are not recommended here. Let's refresh. You can see, if I go below you can see this is looking good. Also if you want, if you can put some space here. This is the carousel. Go to the margin. Here you can put 30. Just publish. Now we can go to the flight ends and refresh this again. And after refreshing, if I go below you can see we have this, and this is looking good. Okay, so we have done this section also. You can just replace all of this content. Like here we have the feature tour, so we can just replace this feature tour, all of this content. Okay, so now let's move to the next section where we're going to build this CTA. So now let's move to the next section where we're going to build this CTA section. Okay, so for making this section, what we're going to do, we can just again add this container. Okay, so here we can just name this container CTA. Let's go this. Here you can see. Then here we can set 1300 max width. Okay, here let's set the space between and center. Then here also we can make this. Okay, now let's go to the layout, and here we can set 400. Okay, now let's me choose that image. Okay, so we're gonna choose that image. So this is the image, like this. Okay, this is the image. We can go to this, and here you can see we can go to the position. Here we can make center and display size would be cover. Okay, now for making the fixed, so we can make this fixed like this. So you can see this will be fixed. Now we can just add a new heading here. Okay, so this is a very simple CTA. We can make this, and here also we can just increase and decrease the size of this. Okay, so here we can make this capitalize, and here we can make this 0. Okay, here we can have this custom value, and here we can search for the icon. Okay, now you can see we have this icon, and we can search for the play. Okay, we can search for the play button here. Display size would be stacked, and we can make this white here, and here also we can make this green. Okay, so whatever colors you can choose it here. Okay, let's make this little bit smaller. Let's make this 30, and for the padding also we can make this 30. Okay, so this is done, and you can just add some hover effect if you want. Like here you can see we can add this green, and we can make this white like this. Okay, so in this way you can add. So let me publish this. Okay, now after that let me go here. Okay, so let's wait for this to publish. Sometime it takes some time. So this is done. Now let's go here, and we're gonna refresh this. So you can see we have built this much website. Now we can go below. You can see this is here. You can see we have this thing here. Okay, now let's move to the next section where we're gonna build this testimonial section. So you can see in the testimonial we can just go here. We can just go here, add, and here we can name this testy. So always name your container, so you can just know which container you are making. 1300. Okay, make everything in the center. Remove this padding. 80 pixel to the top, 80 pixel to the bottom. Okay, and here we can copy this, paste it here. Then we can again copy this, paste it. Okay, and here we can just go here. Okay, now you can see we have this carousel. So for making the carousel we can just choose the carousel widget here again. Now here you can see here we're gonna use here we're gonna show the two carousel at the one time. So we can just go here, choose two, and here also slides on scroll. We want this one. Okay, here we can make this 3, and for the navigation we don't want the navigation, we only want the pagination. Okay, now you can see we have this. So this is the carousel. We can remove all of these paddings. Then inside this we want the slides, so we can make this full width, and this is the center. So now we can just add a container here. Okay, make this full width again, and here also we can add some padding like 30. Okay, let's add the 40. So here also we can make this to border radius 10. Okay, then you can see we have the box shadow. So you can see box shadow is there, but it is not visible because we have this container inside this slide container. So we have to put some padding here also. You can see now it is visible. Okay, so now you can see we have to make this. So for making this, we're gonna add a container. Okay, remove this. Here we can add the icons. So you can name this quite also. Okay, we can make this quite also. Now we can search for the icon widget here, icon, and here we're gonna upload the SVG. So let me upload the SVG. I have this SVG. Let me choose this SVGs here. So one SVG is the quad and one SVG is this. Okay, so we can use this quad also. Okay, we can use this quad also. So this quad is already there. Now we can just make this. We can increase the size of this. Okay, we can make this 70. We can make this 75 also. Okay, now you can see we have this. So now we have to use this container. Okay, like this. We have this. So here we can make this like this. Now we can see we have the quality service. So we can just copy this again from the top. So you can see we have this. So when you copy everything from one place to there, so it keeps the consistency because you can't remember all of these things again and again. So to keep the consistency, we can just copy this. Here we can just change the content according to whatever content you want. Okay, so now you can see we have the quote, and here we can make this 40, and for this make this 10. Okay, this is done. Now we have to make this now we have to make this. You can go below and here you can paste this. So we can also make this here full width. Okay, here we can make this 0. Okay, so here you can just duplicate this also, like if you want you can just go here and duplicate it. Here we can make this like this. Here we can increase the size of this too. Okay, now you can see we have this image and this. So for this we're gonna use the image box here. Okay, image box here like this. Here we can just choose this image. Okay, here you can just put the border radius of 100 like this. So we can just increase and decrease the size of this. Okay, here we can see. Now here we can use the Robert Rosario. So you can put any random name like Robert Rosario. Here you can put the designer team. Okay, so anything designation, and here you can see. Okay, this image is done. For the content we can make this black. For the typography we can just go and play with the typography. Okay, you can see this is looking good. And also for the hover we can add this theme green. Okay, so this is done. Now we can go here, and here you can also put some margin at the top like this to keep the gap. So you can see this is looking good. Now what we can do, we can just go to the carousel here. Here we can delete the rect slide and we can duplicate this 3 times at least. Okay, and here you can see the dots. So we can go to the pagination. Here we can put the 13, and here for the color we can put this, and here also we can make this 30. Okay, here also we can make this to 30, like 20. Let's publish. Okay, so in this way you can make this slider also. So you can just go here and refresh, and after refreshing you can see your slider is also ready. So now if I go below, you can see our slider is also looking great. Okay, and we can also click on these dots to make this slide. Okay, now we're gonna make this news and blog section. So now let's move to the next section. Here you can see we have these two sections left, so we're gonna make this blog section now. So for this we're gonna again add a container like this. Okay, so here we're gonna, guys, ignore these messages. Okay, so here we're gonna make this 1300 here, and here we can here we can add 80 pixel for now. Here also we can add 80 pixel. Go to the styles, and here we can just let's choose this image. So we're gonna use this in the background. Here also we can make this center and center, and display would be cover. Okay, now you can see. Now let's go to the top. So in the top you can see we have this. So let me copy this. Go below again. Here you can paste this like this. Okay, you have to just change the content. I'm not changing the content because I don't want to waste your time by changing the contents. Okay, now you can see we want this text, so let me copy this only. Okay, let me copy this. So to keep the consistency, always copy the same sections. We can just copy this text. Okay, and here also we can make this in the center like this. Here we can go to the custom value. We can make this. Now we have to make this. This is also a slider. So we are using the carousel widget again. So in this video you will learn how to master the carousel widget. You can see here we are using this 3 times. So we can duplicate one slide more. Here we can make this 3 visible slide on display, and how many slides you want to scroll. Means when you click some dots and something, how many slides you want to scroll. We want to scroll 2 slides. Now let's go to the settings. Here you can see we have to make this 3. Pause on our interaction. If you want, you can just keep. So what this means, so when you pause on someone, so the slide will be stopped. So that's how we don't want the navigation, we only want the pagination. So now you can see we can just make everything padding 0, margin 0. Here also we can go to the slide, we can make full width. Here also we can make this 0. Okay, here you can see we have to make one parent container. So let's add a parent container. Okay, make this full width. Here we can make everything in the white, and here we can make this 15. Then here we can add an image. So we can choose this random image, like we can use this image. Here also we can make this 10, and for this container also we can make this 10. Okay, now you can see we have to add this. So you can see I think we already made this somewhere. Okay, so we have not made this, so let's go here. I think we have made this somewhere, I think. Okay, so let's make this here only. So for that we're gonna add a button like this, and here you can see we want one more container first. So let's add a container here below. Okay, and inside this we're gonna put the 20. Now we're gonna put this inside. Here it will say lifestyle. So these are the categories only, so we can have this lifestyle. Okay, here we can make this We can make this. Okay, and here we can also make this 10. Okay, we can make this 8. 2 and 10. Now you can see here we can make this 8. Okay, now you can see we have these comments, so we can search for your list. Can just again add this. Here you can see we have this, so we can make this. Here you can see we have this admin and 3 comments. So these are static right now, but you can also make this okay, so you can also make this dynamic. So this is the admin. Here we can make this, and here we can write like 3 comments. Here we can make this 3 comments. Okay, and here you can go to the green option. You can make this, and here also we can make this like this. Okay, then you can see we have this heading, so we can just search for any random text. You can also add the heading like this. You can just drag and drop this here. Okay, here we can take things to see and do when visiting Japan, so we can use this. Things to see and do when visiting Japan. Okay, here and here we can make this black. Then we can just increase and decrease the size of this. Okay, like this, capitalize, and here we can just make this 1.2. Okay, now you can see we have this text here, so we can just go here and we can just copy this text. Okay, and we can just make this smaller. Then you can see we have this read more button. For this we're gonna add the button, and here we can also make this transparent. Okay, we can make this, and here you can see we have the icon library, so we can use for the arrow like this, and here also we can make this like this. Okay, and when we hover on this, we can make this black. Now you can see this is the lifestyle at the top. Let's increase some padding of this, so we can add this 10 value here. And here also we can this 15. Now you can see we have to make this at the top, so inside this container we have this padding. At the top we don't want this padding. Okay, we want this, but in the top we don't want this padding. Now we have to just click on this container, use this negative value, and we have to make this at the top like this. Okay, so you can see this section is also done. We have successfully made this. Now what we have to do, we have to just go to the carousel, go to the layout. We have to remove the next other slides and make this duplicate 4 times. Okay, so whatever time you want to make this, then go to the styles, and here we can just duplicate this and make this 20, 30. Okay, then again also here in the margin we can add this to 30, so it will have some space at the top. Okay, like this. Now we only want these dots. Also you can change the contents according to you. Okay, so here we can go to the carousel, go to the styles, and here you can see we have the pagination option. Here for the size you can keep 13, and here we can keep this also, so you can see, and for the spacing also we can keep 30. So you can see we have this. Now let's publish final time. You can just change this content. You can also make this dynamic by using the loop grid. Okay, make a loop and then you can use the loop grid here. Let's refresh this. Okay, now let's wait, and if I go below you can see, if I go below you can see we have this news and blog section. Only what we have to do, we have to make this at the top like this. Here you can see we have to make this behind this. So how are we gonna do that? Because we have this here, and here you can see we have this 200, we can make this 300. Okay, now we can use this em value. Okay, and then delete this. Now we can just use the negative value and make this at the top like this, and we can use this 400 also. Okay, let's wait for it to load. Now you can see this is loaded, but there is one issue, that the testimonial which we have added above, they don't have the white color, so we have to put the white color there. So let me show you how to put these white colors. So that is very simple. You have to just go to this testimonial slides, like we can go to the top. Here we can see we have this container, so this is the slide. We can make this simply white. Okay, then we can just go here also we can make this white. Here also we can make this white. Okay, so you can see this is also looking good. Now let's publish. Here you can see the spacing is little bit bigger, but you can solve this by reducing the padding, which we have just I think given here in the block section. You can make this 350. Let's try. So this is looking good. 330 will look good. Okay, so this is done. So now you can see all sections are done. I think one more section is left. Now let's refresh this. So now let's try to go below, and in this you can see we have this, all the sections are ready. Okay, so you can see this block section is also looking great, testimonial is also looking great, all things are done. Now let's move to the next section where we're gonna build this exact places section, and then we're gonna move to the header and footer. Okay, now you can see we have to make this. So for making this, that is also very simple. You have to just add a new container like this, and here we can name this container like places. Okay, here we can put 1300. Then here we can just make this 80. Here also we can make this 80. Okay, and here we can make this, copy this. Okay, paste, and here we can copy this. Okay, and we're gonna paste this. So this is the destination list. You can just replace all of this content. Okay, I'm gonna, then you can see we have to make this slide. So after that we have to again use the carousel widget here. So you can see we're gonna make this now. So this is very simple, only this is looking really hard. So you can see here we have 3. So again we can duplicate this one, and 3. And how many slides we want to scroll? So we want to scroll 2 slides. 2 slides. So now you can see we have this carousel widget. Go to the advanced, remove all of these paddings. Inside this we have this slide one, make it full width. Okay, here also we can remove all of this. Now you can see we have this. So for that, first go to the slides here, and here we're gonna choose an image. So let's choose the image. Now let's choose any random image, like we can choose this image. Okay, then we can go here, center, and here we can make this cover. Okay, and here also we can make this 400. Okay, and here also we can make this. Okay, and here also we can make this. Now we have to give this 20. Here also we can make this background overlay here. Okay, here we can make this opacity. So here we can first add the heading here. Okay, here we can make this travel, and this would be theme black. No, you have to make this theme green. Okay, I think black color is not coming here. Let's see why. Go to the slide 1 here. Here we can see the background overlay, and here we can make this color, and we can make this transparent here. Okay, so you can see this is coming. Now we have this again, so we can just duplicate this, Singapore. Okay, we can make this white, and we can increase this. Then we can have this icon, so we can search for the icon here. Okay, and here we can use this arrow. Okay, we can make this tagged, like this, and we can make this. And here we can make this to white. Here we can make this green. Okay, this is done. Now also we can now use this here also. You can see, you can just paste this, and we can now make this position absolute. Okay, here we can make this 30, and this is also 30. So this is looking good. And here also we can make this 2 towards, so we can click on this 2 towards. Okay, we can make this uppercase. So this is looking good. Now what we have to just go to the carousel here we can remove rest the slides, and we can duplicate this. Okay, then go here we can make this 30. This is looking good. Okay, you have to just replace all of this content, like this content. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to just go to the pagination. Here we can enter the size 30, need this orange, and this custom value 30. So you can see. Also you can go to the carousel advanced, and here we can make this 30. So you have to put some spaces here. Now you have to just replace this content, like if you want to change the slides, click on this second slide, go here, and here we can just change the content, like we can use this image. So in this way you can just change the content here. Okay, this is looking really good. I should have increased the height of this, so you can just click on this like this, and here also we can use this Russia. Okay, so in this way you can just change the content and all. So now let's publish this. Okay, then after publishing, now let me show you this here. After publishing, let me show this here. Okay, now you can see, if I go below, let's see whether this section is here or not. So you can see here we have the blog section, exotic places section is also ready. Here we are also getting these arrows, but we don't want the arrows, so let's go to the carousel here, and here in the navigation. Now you can see you can hide, you can don't, if you don't want to use these arrows which are coming here, you can just go here, so you can auto hide this. Now let's wait for it once. Okay, now you can see if I go and publish this, now you can see when after refreshing the arrows will not be there. Okay, now let's go here and refresh. Now let's wait for it to this, and we're gonna refresh this. So now if I go below, and you can see now the arrows are not there, only these dots are there. Okay, so in this way you can make this type of things also. So all these things are ready. Now let's go to the next section where we're gonna build the header and footer. Okay, so let's move to the next section where we're gonna build this footer. So for making the footer, what we have to do, we have to just go to this templates, and here we have to open the theme builder. Okay, so let's open this theme builder, and we're gonna build this same type of footer. So you can see that we have this footer here. So after that we're gonna shift to about this header. Okay, so I will show you how we're gonna do this header section. So right now we have to, so let's go to this footer section, and here we have to add a new footer. Okay, so in this footer you can see that we have this type of footer. So here you can see that we have one row at the top, then we have the second row, and after that we have the third row. So we have to build this footer exact same. Okay, so for making this footer, you can see that we have open this. So here you can see that we have Elementor footer. You can also go here and you can just change the names and all. Suppose here you have to change the name of this, so you can just change the name. So now you can see that we have to make this. So for this we have to make a parent container. So let's make a parent container like this. Okay, now let's give this some name footer, and here we have to give this 1300 max width and make everything in the center. Okay, now we have to add this 80 pixel to the top and 80 pixel to the bottom. Okay, and here you can see that we have this theme black. Okay, now we have to use the first row. Okay, so let's make the first row, and this is the row 1. Okay, here in this we have to make these two sections. So now we can add these two sections here. So we're gonna add the two divs here. Okay, so this is the left div, and we have to remove the extra access padding from here. Let's duplicate this. Now we have to go to this main row 1, and here we have to do the display flex. So we have to do it in the this direction, horizontal direction, and justify center and align item center. Okay, now we have to make two rows, two section for this, one container for this and one container for these arrows. Okay, so now you can see that we have empty one. Here we can make this right, the left. Now we can add one more container. Okay, so this container is for the text. You can name your containers, duplicate this also. Now we can go to the left again, we can again make it flex center. Okay, now you can see we have the two. So for the first one we can give this to 60% width, and for the second one we can give this 40% width. You can make this more smaller according to this. Okay, so now we have to add an image. So you can see the first image is this. So we can choose this image from the media library. This is the image. Okay, now we can go to styles and make this in the left line. Go to the width and make this smaller. Okay, now you can see that we need this text. So for the text we have to add a paragraph here. So this paragraph is coming here. We can drag and drop this after the image like this. So inside this text we have this. Now let's copy this para from here. Okay, now we have to make this white. We can also increase and decrease the font size of this like this. Make this 500 boldness. Now we can go to the custom width, and here we have to adjust its width, so it will be in the left line. Okay, we can make this in the center. So you can see this is now in the left line. We can make this more smaller. Let's 22 is good. Now we have to add this one more icon. So this is the icon. So for that we have to search for icon. Okay, here we have to use the arrow. You can use so many icons according to you. Choose the stat value here, then choose this theme green, then let's increase and decrease the size, also make it left line. Okay, so this section is ready. So you can see first section is ready. Okay, so now we can duplicate the below one. Now we can duplicate this again. Now we can name this right. Okay, now you can see that we have very less gap between this. So for that we can have the gap of 100. So this is looking almost similar. Just we have to increase and decrease the size of this. Like we can increase the size of this to 30. You can also increase the size of this to 30. Okay, and here we can just change the color of this theme blue. Okay, so now let's publish this once, and we're gonna choose the entire site, save and close. Now let's refresh our website. Let's see our footer is loaded or not. If I go below, you can see our footer is started loading here. Okay, here we have to change this image. So we can just go here. Here we can change this image. Now let's publish. Now we have to make this. So you can see here we have the horizontal line which is from the HTML. So now for this we have to go to this one. We can add one more container, or what we can do, we can just add the divider here, which is the horizontal line of the HTML. So you can see this is currently coming here, but we can drag and drop this and go below. Now we can close this left. So we have to move this divider above this footer. Now you can see this is outside the container. So we have this divider line here. We can reduce the gap to 0. Now we can make the divider color little bit like this. So now we can preview. We have the divider. We have the divider here. Okay, now let's make this little more transparent, so we can play with the opacity of this. So okay, now we can add a container. Add new container. Name this container 2. Okay, for this now we're gonna make this section. So for making the section we will add container inside this. So let's add this container. Okay, let's name this one. Duplicate this now. Now we can go to this 2 and we can make this horizontal flex row, horizontal center. Now we have to add this image, which is the logo. We can choose the image. Go to the media library. Here you will find so many images. We can choose this. So this is our logo. This is our logo. Now we can go to the custom width. Here we can increase and decrease the size of this according to you. Now we want this text. So for the text we can use some dummy content here, lorem ipsum. Okay, you can use your own content, whatever you want to add in your website. Let's use this. Here we can change the color of this to white. Okay, now we have to use this, make this social icon. So for making this we can search here. You can search here social icon, drag and drop this. Okay, we can make this here. If you want to add some more, go here and click on this. Here you will find Instagram also. You can just add it here. Here you will find link to add. Okay, now we can make this circle. Go here and choose the custom value. So here we can choose this green, or we can make this color like this. This is much similar to this. Then after that we can, okay, now we have to make this smaller. So increase and decrease the size of this, increase the padding. Now we can go to the hover property. Here we have to make this green and this white. So when you hover, you can see the colors are changing. If you want to add some spacing, add this like this. Now let's put some margin at the top, 20. This is done. Now let's publish. Now let's refresh our website. After refreshing, if I go below, you can see that our footer is here and it is looking good. Now let's make the rest pages. So for making this, we can use this, copy this, and we can go to this and paste this. So we're gonna just change the content here, pages. Now you can see that this is coming below, but we want this at the top. So for that, we're gonna use the display property flex. Here you can see we can make this align item start, so it will come at the top. Now we have to make this links. So for making the links, we're gonna use the list property here. Just drag and drop this list here. Okay, delete this. Here we're gonna choose the home, remove this icon, just duplicate this now. Okay, and here we can go to the advanced and here make this 30. So now we can make this to white. Okay, and here you can see we have the space between. Now you have to just go here and change the content. Suppose this is about, you can just rename this services, blogs, and this is our contact page. You have to just put your link here and it will redirect to that page. Okay, so you can see hover. So let's add the hover property. Go to text, hover, choose the color theme green. So when you hover on this, the color will be changing. Or let's publish. Okay, now we have to make this newsletter. So for that, again we're gonna copy this here and we're gonna paste it here. Now let's change this newsletter. Now we have to make this forms. First we want this text, so let me go here. You can see we have this forms text here, so let's copy this text. Let's copy this text here, and here we're gonna add this text. Here we have added some margin at the top, which is 20 pixels. So we have to same add the margin here, 20 pixels. So it will start at the same position. Now we have to make this form. So for making this form, we're gonna use the Elementor form widget. Everything is ready to use here. We can use this. Now for the placeholder, you can see we have this label, so we don't want to show the label, so just hide it, the label will be gone. Now we can go to this email. Here we have the placeholder. So here we can write enter your email address. So this is the placeholder. We have to use the 80% width of this and the rest 20%. Let's make this medium, and rest 20% will be used by button. So make this 20%, and here also make this medium. Okay, here we don't want to use this text, we want to use some icon. Here let's use this envelope icon. Okay, so let's use any icon, like you can use this. Okay, so you can use any random icon. Here we can using this. Okay, now you can see everything is done. Now we can go here, and here we have to go to the field. Here we can make this black. Here you can increase and decrease the font size of this. Okay, we don't want to show the borders, also make it 0. Also for the button, we don't want to show any padding, make it 0. So you can see this is looking good now. So our form is also ready. Now let's publish. Now let's try to refresh it here. If I go below, you can see that our footer is almost ready. Now we have to only add this contact. So for this also we can copy this, paste this contact, and here contact. Now we have to use this icon. So for this I'm gonna again using this, copy, go here, paste. Now we have to just use this. So here we can use the phone icon, phone, and here we can use any random number, but you can use the real number. I'm just showing for dummy purpose. Here we can use any mail, so we can use any icon for the mail. Let's use this icon. Now we have some dummy address, so we can copy this. Now we can copy this. Okay, we can duplicate this here. Here we can just select for the map. You can use this map icon here. Okay, now we have to color this. This color is currently blue. We can go to the icon style. Here we can choose the color, increase the size of this. Just increase the size. What you are doing, you will see here visually. Now you can see we have to put some space. So we have the space between property. Put the space here. You can see now we have to put some gap between all of this. Now we have to go to this. This is the two main container. Now we have to put this gap. Let's keep 50. Okay, 50, and we can also make this gap to 60. Now you can see we can also drag and drop this to increase and decrease the gap here. You can see we can just play like this. So now we have to put some gap between this. So for this we can add this 50. You can see we are having this gap. Now let's publish. After that, let's go here and we're gonna refresh this. So after refreshing, if I go to the footer again, so you can see our footer is almost ready and looking good. Now let's add the last section. So for that we can again duplicate this divider and we can make this at the bottom. Now you can see we have the copyright section. So for the copyright we can again use this list only. Just go here and paste it. Okay, and here we're gonna use this. Here we're gonna use the copyright. Okay, and here we can write copyright 2025 fly tail, all rights reserved. Okay, so this is done. Here you can see we have the 20 padding. We can delete this. Okay, now you can see if I go to this, here we have given this spacing. So let's remove this. Okay, and here in the icon list below that we can put some spacing, or what we can do, we can just go here and here we can put this 40. Okay, here we can put 30. Let's put 40, and between this spacing we can reduce this little bit. So let's keep this 30. Okay, now you can see if I go and publish this footer, now you can see our footer is ready. Now you can see our footer is ready, guys. Let's go below, and here you can see our footer is ready. So in this way we can make this type of footer. If you want to make this little bit opacity less, you can just make this. Okay, I hope you understand how to make this beautiful footer. Now let's move to the final part of our website where we're gonna build the header. Okay, so now you can see we have to make this header. So for making the header, first we have to make this menu. So let's go here in the appearance and in the menus. Here we're gonna make this. So here you can see we have the home, about us, services, tours. So let's go to this and we're gonna make this menu. Okay, here we're gonna make this header, create menu. Okay, here you can see, so here we're gonna make this about. So we are using the CSS ID here, so to redirect to that section. Then services, tour, testimonial. Let's add this services, tours, testimonial, services, tour, testimonial, and here we're gonna add the contact also. Okay, let's add the contact and save the menu. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to go to this templates and we have to open the Themeler again. Also you can see that in the mobile we have to make a very simple menu like this. So you can see in the mobile we have this different menu like this. Okay, so we have to make this menu again for the mobile. So first let's make the header for the desktop, and then after that I will show you how to make the header for the mobile. Okay, now you can see we have this type of header. So first we're gonna make this top one. So you can see in the top one we are using this icon. So I'm gonna copy the icon from here only. Okay, so I will show you how you're gonna copy these things also. So here we're gonna add this. Okay, so this is header one desktop. Okay, let's name this also. So now we can make this 1300. Here we can make this color to white. Okay, and here we're gonna give this 10. Okay, like this 10, and this is 10. Okay, now we're gonna give this like, okay, and here you can see we have this black one logo, so let's use this. Okay, now we can use this okay, now you can see we have this icon. Okay, now you can see we can make this. Okay, now we can make this. Okay, now you can see we have to make this little bit smaller. We can make this little bit like this. Here for the icon we can play it like this. Okay, so our this header is ready. Now we can add a condition entire site. Okay, now you can see we have to make this second one. So for that we can add one more container. So this we can name header 2 desktop. Okay, and here we can name this 1300. Okay, now we can add one more container inside this. First we have to go to this header to desktop, and here we can remove this. Now let's go to this. Here we can also make this. Here also we can make this color change, like we can make this theme black. Okay, here you can see we have this border radius. So here we can have the border radius of 10. Okay, now we can add this WordPress menu. Here let's put some padding also. So let's put the padding of 30 or 20. Okay, now you can see we have this home about services. Now we can just go here. Here you can see we have these properties. You can choose the text, and this will be no. And here for make it full width, and for the mobile make it center. Okay, now we can go here. Okay, now here we can see we can make this 500, and we can make this a little bit smaller. Okay, now we can make the, now you can see this is coming here. Now you can see we want this book now button. So for the book now button we can add a button here. You can also copy that from somewhere, but right now that is not open. Now you can see we have to go to the containers and make this button. After that container, here we can make this space between center. Now you can see we have the book now button. So here we can make this book now. Okay, you can put that link here where you want to redirect. Now we can make this here, make this white. Okay, now you can see we have the border radius, and for the padding we have 15. Here we can make this 20. Okay, so you can just want to change. If you want to change, you can just change this. Okay, I'm just showing how to make this. So you can see you can also add some animations, like here you can see grow and shrink like this. Okay, so this is good. Now we can make this. Now let's try to refresh here. Let's see what we have done right now. Now you can see this is looking good, but there is one issue. Now you can see here we have some spacing. So let's put some spacing here. So for the spacing, what we can do, we can just simply put this padding. Let's add 20. Here let's add 20. Okay, here we can add 30, and here also we can add 30. Let's do one thing. Let's add 25, and here also we can add 27. Let's try 20 and 20 and okay, you have to just play with that. Now you can see we have the header to desktop. For this we have to choose the em value, and here we have to add some negative values. Okay, let's try this now. So if I go here and refresh, now you can see this will shift at the top. Okay, so we have done little bit more. Let's make this 3, and we can go to this, and here put the z index value 99 for this also. you have to put the z index value 99. Okay, let's publish. Now we can go here again, refresh. Then after that you can see this is looking good now. Okay, so you can see our header is also ready. Okay, so we have successfully completed our whole website step by step, and you can see whole website is looking good. Okay, you can see our header and footer is also working. Now let me show you how we're gonna add some basic animation in the website, how to make the mobile part, and also I'm gonna show you how to make this scroll to top button. Now let me show you how to put this scroll to top button. So for that you have to just go to the plugin section here, and here you can add a plugin. So let me go to the add plugin option, and here we can add one plugin. Okay, here we can add one more plugin. The plugin is this WP front. Okay, we can use this plugin, and we can make this we can just install this. So let's wait for it to install. After that I will show you how to put the basic animation in the website. Also I will show you how to make the mobile responsiveness. Okay, now let's activate this. Also I will show you how to make this header for the mobile. Okay, let's enable this, and here you can see we have the auto hide feature, hide on WP admin. Okay, now you can see there are so many icons, so we have to use this icon. You can use any custom icon also from here. Okay, so these are the main settings. You can check other settings also. Okay, now you can see this is done. Now let's try to refresh it here. Now if I go below, let's go below. Now you can see we have this scroll to top button, and it will work on all the pages. If you click this, it will go to the top. Okay, so now let me show you how to add the mobile header. So for the mobile header we have to use this. Let's duplicate this. Okay, let's make this at the last, and here we can make like header mock. Okay, so instead of this we can delete this. Okay, and here inside this you can see here the WordPress menu. Just copy this, and after that we can paste this. Now you can see we have this menu here. We have to only change the color of this. Okay, like this, and here you can see all of these values are there. Now what we have to do, we have to just go to the header mock advanced, and here we have to go to the responsiveness. So this will only be visible on the tablet and mobile. Okay, so let's hide this from the desktop, and for the rest we have to hide this from the tablet and portrait, and for this also we have to hide this. Okay, only visible on the desktop. Now if you see here, now if I go and refresh this, now you can see here we have the same values. Okay, now let's go to the mobile part, and in the mobile you can see we have this header. Now we can just go here and let's make it a little bit responsive. So let's increase this size. Okay, and here you can see you have the toggle button, and here we can have the background color. Make this white, and here you can see we have this orange white. Okay, now if I click on this you can see we have this. Now we can go to the drop down, and here we have this background color theme green, like this white. For the active also we can make this white. Okay, you can see you can also play with the font size here. Just increase and decrease how much font you want, like this. Okay, like this. So let's publish. If you want you can also make this sticky. Just click on this, go to the motion effect, and here you will find sticky at the top. It will be sticky at the top. Okay, let's add some colors also. Here white is also there. Okay, let's publish. Now you can see footer, our header is done for the mobile. You can also go and inspect this, so you can see this is looking good now. Here other things are not responsive, so let's make that responsive also. Okay, now let's go to this. Now let's go to the footer. Now let's first make this footer responsive. Now you can see we have this footer. For making this responsive we can again go to this left part, and here you can see you have to make this in the like this. Okay, here you can see we have this top bottom. This is good. Okay, now let's go to the one, and here we can make this at the start. Okay, so here if I go to the text, this is also the icon. So here we have the text. So what we can do, we can just go to the percent, and here we can have the 50%. Okay, and for this also we can make it 50%. Okay, so now you can see that we have this left, so we have the text here. So here in the left we have to, in the center, let's make this space between. Now we can go to this, here we have 50%. Okay, for the text also we have 50%. Let's make this 30%. So you can see this is comes here. Okay, now we can, what we have to do, we have to just make this, now let's make this 60%, or we can make this 70%. Okay, and for this we can make this 20%. Okay, now we can go to this, here we can make this is let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay, here also we can make this smaller. Also you can see we can make this smaller. So you can have this like this also. Okay, just we have to place this at the start. Okay, now you can also increase and decrease this, so you can increase this. So you can see this is also looking good. Okay, we can add this here, let's add this 20 from this, 20 from this, like this. So I think we have to go here, go to this main footer part. So you have to put here 80, 20, 40 and 20. Okay, like this. Okay, here we can make this full width like this. Okay, so in this way we can do it for that also. So for this we're gonna delete this here. Okay, so you can just click on this and delete by using this keyboard and just duplicate this. Now you can see we have this. Now we have to just change the content. Okay, so in this way you can make this also. So this is done here. Here we have to change the color of this. Okay, now you can see rest things are automatically responsive. So footer is almost responsive. Here we can just change the color of this icon. We can make this white. Okay, you can just go to the text here also and make this white. Okay, let's publish. Now you can see if I go to this, this is also responsive. Header and footer is done. Now let me go to the pages and we can make the page responsive. Okay, so let's wait for it to open. Now we have to make the this responsive for the mobile. So you can see first we have this slider. So let's go to this. Here we have to first target this. Okay, so you can see here of the container. You can just use this. Let's use 350. Okay, now inside this you can see we have the text. Okay, so now we have to first make this full width. Okay, go to this and here we can just make this smaller. Okay, make this 30. Now you can see we have the container. Here in this you can see we have the right and left, so remove that. Let's add okay, so you can see we don't want to add let's add padding. I think let's add 20 or 40 like this padding. Okay, we can also add 20 and 20 here, so we can just increase and decrease this. 30 is looking good. Here also we can just make this 15. Okay, and here we can just make this full width. Okay, and here we can just make this. So you can see this is looking good. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to just go to the carousel and we have to just delete the rest slides. Okay, that's it. That's how it is looking good. If you think this is not looking good, we can just make this 400. Okay, do it for the other also, 400, and do it for the this also. This is also 400. Okay, so in this way just you have to change the slide images. Got it? This part is almost looking good, I think. Okay, now for this you can see this is in the edges, so we can use this 60, 20, 60 and 20 like this. You can just play with the font size from here if you want. Okay, I'm not changing it. This is also looking good. We can place it this in the center. We can just make it in the center. Okay, you can see this is also good. For this we can just go to the advanced. Here we can add 80, 20, 200 and 20 like this. Okay, so you can see this is looking good. This is also looking good. We have to just go to this counter. Here we have to this grid. Now you can see we have this. So here we can just make this 20. Okay, make this 30, and you can just increase and decrease the size of this. Copy, paste style. So you can see all the styles are pasted in the other containers from here only. Okay, this is looking good. Now we can go here. Here also we can make this 60, 20, 60 and 20. Here we can just make this full width. Okay, like this. You can also change the font size here. Okay, so this is looking good. Now this part, here we can just make this 20, 20. We can just go here and we can just increase and decrease the font size like this. Okay, and here also we can make this 20. Okay, like this. And here we can also add some EM value 1.2. Okay, here we can add the 350 value, or we can also make this like this. Now we can make this full width and we can make this in the center. Okay, so this is also looking good. Now let's publish one. Now we can go to this section also. Here you can see we have this 60 to the top, 20, 60 and 20. Okay, here we can make this full width and here we can make this in the center. Okay, this is also looking good. Here you have to just go inside this and here you can just set this 20. Okay, you have to do this for others also, or you can delete and duplicate that you can also do. Like you can go here and duplicate this. Okay, like this. Just change the size of this. Now you can see we have this. We can make this full width and we can make this in the center. Okay, this is also looking good. So I think we have to put some blocks here. Here we can make this 0. Okay, and here we have to put this 60, 60, 20 and 20 like this. So this is the slider also working here, you can see. Now we have this section. For this also we can make this 60 and here 20 and 20, and for this we can go to this and make this full width. Okay, now you can see we have this slide. Then we can make this 300, and that we can do for the all. Okay, here also we can make this 300. Okay, so this is looking good. Now let's publish. So we have successfully made a whole website responsive also. Now if I go and let me show you that our whole website is responsive or not. Let's try to refresh it here. Okay, now let's go to the inspect, and here you can see all websites are fully responsive. You can check out all the sections. Okay, so in this way you can make fully responsive website using the Elementor and the WordPress. Okay, now let me show you how you can put this these things. So you can see when I click on this, it will go to their respective sections. So let me show you how. So you can see here we are using this IDs. So we have to just put these IDs. Suppose we have this home, then suppose I want to make this section about, so we can go to the main container. Here you can see we have this about, just put the same ID here. Okay, similarly we have the services, I think. So let's, okay, we have the tours also. Let's make this tours here, CSS ID. Okay, in the similar way you can put all the links. Now let's publish this. Also let me show you how to put the animations, basic animations. Suppose I want to put the animation here. So you can put the animation anywhere, in the div also, in the this titles also, button also, everywhere. Suppose I want to put the animation here. So we have to click on that, go to motion effect. Here we will find entrance animation, and this is zoom in animation. Okay, let's make it fast, and this is 50. Okay, now again we can go to this zoom in animation, and this is fast, and this is 100. Okay, so in the similar way we can put the animations everywhere, like here also in the motion effect we can put this slide in up, and this is also fast, this is 150. Okay, so in the similar way we can put the animation here also. We can make this animation like we can have the, okay, just at the time of delay. Yeah, suppose we want to put the slide in up animation, which will come after delay of 200. Okay, similarly we can make the second. So here we can increase the delay time. Suppose here we can write a slide in up, and this will come after the 250. Okay, so in this way you can put the animation everywhere. Just add some delay time. Okay, let's try to refresh it here. Let's try to refresh it here, and let's see our animations are working or not. So you can see if I go to this, so you can see our animations are working. Okay, so in this way you can put animation to every blocks. Okay, so we have successfully completed our whole website. If you like this type of videos, like and share our video with a friend, subscribe to the channel. Also, all the links are in the video description, do check it out. Also, we are selling this kit in a very affordable rate, so all the links are in the video description. If you want to buy this kit, premium template kit, so you can buy that also. If there are so many kits, you can check it out in our channel, also in the link in the description. I will give you all of these images also for free. Okay, so please download that from the links. Okay, so I hope you understand how to make this type of awesome website using the Elementor and the WordPress. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you next time.